It's nice to see you, Mo. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks.
It's really nice
to finally meet
exactly.
you. Yeah.
I mean, all jokes aside, we've spoken on the phone, but I feel like the level of your travels and your success and what you've been doing creatively, that you've met and caught up with everybody except us here in the studios. It's really nice to finally do so.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
So what's going on? How's life? Fill me in. What's been happening? I want to hear how you feel right now, just as a human being on planet Earth.
I feel really good. I've been here in LA now for 2 weeks and just kind of trying to wrap my head around the second album and finish things. And it's been really good to give myself some time to really just get down to earth and think about it and feel it out.
And do you have to cut things off in order to do that? Because you're so in demand as a collaborator. Do you have to just be like, look, I love you all, but if I don't focus and finish my thing right now?
It's kind of like a mix between, obviously I go in sessions and I do songs, and I've done a lot of songs with a lot of different people and all that stuff. But that's one thing, and that's great. But it's also, for me, I think, I should say, like as a solo artist, important to just sit down and write my own stuff and listen to it and look to it. Also, because for me, when I do an album, I really want it to have like a theme and
a complete
aesthetic.
Thought.
Yeah, it should not just be like a single and a single and a single and a single and whatever. Like it's you want to tell a story, like a little book. Like you got to reflect on your.
Absolutely. So when did you feel, the last time you felt like you felt this inspired, like you were working on a complete thought? When did you feel, have you been working on this record now for some time? Give us some timeline.
Yeah, I've been working on it since my last album, which was in 2014. But then, Lean On happened. And then, of course, my life changed a lot. And a lot of doors suddenly were open. And, my life just changed. And therefore, in a way, my music also changed for a while. And, for me, like, again, I guess I had never expected to get a hit in my life. Of course, it was my big dream and my hope, and I wished for it, but again, you can never tell. So.
We're going to come back and continue to catch up with Mo right here. We're excited to do so, but right now the song in question, and we're going to come back, reflect on it, and put it to bed. This is Lean On Beats One. That kind of whole experience of having a hit record like that, more than anything else for an artist, and I've spoken to many about it, it's like a bubble.
No, it was so much fun. I think the thing is, like, when everything happened, like, you're just so happy, everything's amazing. It's like, But then it takes it took for me I think 8 months before I realized what actually had happened in a way. And to come out from that and then, what now?
Next?
Yeah, what now?
You got to focus on your music and get back to business. But it's a beautiful distraction.
Yeah, oh my God, no, it's the best. I'm so happy every day, but
Crazy experience.
Yeah.
Banger of a record. You've had a few, by the way, already. But when it comes to actually putting, like you said, a complete thought together, songs that make sense in a different way, not focusing on 3 minutes at a time. What kind of environment do you have to place yourself in to do that? Because writing and collaborating is so sporadic and all over the show. You're in one studio, one city, but this opportunity, you have to really, I'd imagine, place yourself in a different environment.
When I write, whether it's melodies or lyrics or whatever, it can actually be anywhere when it's on my own. The inspiration can come anytime. But for me, it's very important to put myself in a situation where I'm not under stress. Like when I write on my own. If I write with others, that's different.
Well, you're bouncing off each other, yeah.
That's the two very, very different things. And you need both. And I think it's very important to do both. Because if I just sit on my own all the time and write, then I'll just loop around and I'll change it and I'll end up not knowing at all what I'm doing or who I am or anything. Just gosh. So, it's very important to do both things.
So where is peace for you? Where do you find that place where you can actually get the truth out of you when you're on your own?
Seriously, at the moment, I feel very inspired and feel really happy, in that place, in the house we rented and the little studio that I built for myself. But it used to be at my parents' house where it was the best place for me to really go back in,
And it was at the same house that you began writing your first ever songs and lyrics?
Yeah.
How old were you when that began in earnest?
I started sitting down by the piano that we inherited and write songs when I was 7, 8.
Wow.
It was around Spice Girls. It was just around there, so I guess I was 8.
So that was the inspiration for the beginning, and then, you start to turn your attention to writing songs. And, did your parents realize very early on, do you think, having spoken to them, I'm sure, since, that there was something to foster, some talent in there?
Yeah, I think the thing is, I don't come from a musical family at all. And so for them, I think they were like, oh, great that she loves singing. Oh, she sings really nice. That's great. I don't think they were thinking, oh, yeah, she's going to have a big musical career.
But they knew to foster you because they're teachers. They knew to encourage. That's in their nature, obviously.
Definitely, yeah. They always were like, oh, whatever makes you happy. It's important you do what you want to do and those kind of things.
And then here you are, man. Sometime later, it's great to catch up with you. We're going to play Nights with you right now from Mo. We continue with the artist in a second on Beats One. It's another banger. I think, when it comes to, songs like Nights with You, which, have, emotion attached to them, but obviously there's momentum. There's a real modern production and a feel to it like that. Do you have moments where you just enjoy sitting at the piano and just writing and not building around it? And do you have songs like that?
Yeah, where I just sit down and like just be like super. Oh yeah, I have too many of those. No, but I think it's very important you get some of that color of yourself on a record, like a solo record like that as well. And also on my first record, there was like a bunch of slow songs. So there's going to be a couple of those. I have 2 that I really, really love, which I want to try to finish. Like, slow piano songs that I made, like that thing.
So who have you been working with on this record? Like, what can you tell us? Because, we love to break all restricted flow of information here at Beats One.
I've been working, of course, with Wes and those guys and like Cashmere Cat. And then, also a couple of other people. But again, I'm just so scared of saying any names of them.
No, that's fair enough. So let's talk about the ones that we already know about and then you have established relationships with. And, your vibe with Wes, with Diplo, and with the crowd of Major Lazer. I mean, it's obviously a real meeting of minds and a real alchemy there. What is special about the way you guys work?
We started working in 2013, and I remember back then I was obviously super starstruck and just like, because like that was like around, Get Free. It was like my biggest jam, like for many years. I was just like, I was just overwhelmed. And then I started working with them and they would just send me beats and stuff. And like, then eventually we would hook up in a studio and like do a little thing. But it was very much like working online, like sending back and forth stuff. And then Lean On happened, and then obviously we all got really happy, and then we got very close.
Is it fun working with them in the studio? Because the music is fun.
I think it's so much fun because, like, again, they're open to do crazy stuff and weird stuff, and also I like that they also have this like, let's do this, okay, let's try this, like that energy, which I feel like I can relate to.
How does it compare to Cashmere Cat as a producer and a collaborator?
They're kind of in the same world, but like, and also because they're like making pop music that's like progressive, is that the word? Like,
it's very modern,
you're trying to push, it's interesting.
They're
it's
trying
different.
to change the shape of pop music at all times.
Exactly. But with Cashy, also because like he's Norwegian, I'm Danish, so we also just really bond like in all Scandinavian way. Like, but again with him, it's also just like also fun.
What about producing for yourself? I mean, what about going in there and kind of working on your own music and producing yourself?
Yeah.
But there's no desire for you at some point to kind of go deeper into that world because you
I would
seem
love to.
like a complete artist.
I would love to do that. I think I'm going to do it sometimes in my life. It's just I haven't had the time to get into it. But this is on my like list of stuff I want to get into. Yeah, it's definitely on my wish list.
We're with Mo right now, hanging out, getting ready for a new album out this year.
That is definitely the plan. Yeah.
Good. So you have songs ready to go. And I mean, can you let go of albums and of that process easily? Because if you've been making it for the better part on and off of 3 years, I mean, at some point, someone's got to take it out of your hands, metaphorically speaking.
I know.
So.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in the kind of last process of it now because for me, I record all my vocals on my own if I can. So for me, it's also just about finishing everything from my end. And then, as you say, make the people who's going to finish it.
And you know when it's time to hand it over. You've got good instincts in that level.
Yeah, my plan was that in the end of May, that's like my deadline.
We're going to wrap this interview up real quick. You got to get back in the studio.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. Maybe mid-June.
We just pushed the release date back with one question. What an asshole. I'm sorry. You're going out, but you've got touring to be done.
Yes. Summer festivals. Yeah. In Europe. I have one here in America and Panorama Festival in New York. And then a UK tour.
In October.
Yes.
When you're taking out Scott.
Yes.
Now she's great.
You met her. I saw the picture. Yeah, she's awesome. I love her.
We did the first interview, I think, with her, and it was incredible because you really got the sense that she was entering into this world for the first time.
Of course.
Did it feel like that for you when you first came out?
Actually, me and Scott, we talked a lot about that. She's such a lovely person. I really, really like her. But yes, it was. I mean, for me, like for so many years, I'd been trying so hard, like to become a musician and like, So I remember when things suddenly started to a little bit happen, like, obviously it was so new and like, wow. But I was just so overwhelmed by happiness, actually. I know it sounds a little lame, but I was just like, yay, finally people pay attention. Yay!
Do you have an album title? Have you thought about it?
It's still not. How do you say? Oh my God! It's not like for sure.
Right.
So, but I definitely have a concept and an idea, and my mind is bubbling about it so much at the moment. But I feel like I probably shouldn't say anything.
No, it's fine. Yet. But it's informed the nature of the record. It's informed the themes of the record. It feels like there's a thread throughout.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, it's something that's going to have a universal meaning. You can put different kind of interpretations into it. But for me, like I need to have that a story that you want to tell that goes throughout the whole thing.